for you guys, it is the day before the premiere of the movie. For me, it's still a week before, so I have not seen this movie. I do not know what happens. I just want to preface this video with this. I don't know any spoilers. This is just from all the theories I've read and watched on YouTube. This is what I think is going to happen in the movie. So if you're ready, we will go ahead and start my prediction for Avengers Endgame. Alright guys, so I have this all typed out for obvious reasons. This is very complicated. I'm not going to try to remember this. I just typed like half a page just on what I think the plot of this movie is going to be. So if it sounds like I'm reading from a Microsoft Word sheet in some parts of this, it's because that's exactly what I'm doing. Alright, so this movie starts, and I think in the first 20-30 minutes, Captain Marvel comes in, meets Thor. They're like, oh, we're super powerful, and Thor, you alone almost defeated him last time. So Thor and Captain Marvel go to face Thanos, and some of the others, maybe Captain America, Rocket, maybe Black Widow, they all go to rescue Tony. And so you kind of have two missions going on at the same time right off the bat of the movie. And so the mission to go fight and kill Thanos, they're obviously going to fail. This is maybe the first 45 minutes of the movie. Captain Marvel just gets like the shit kicked out of her by Thanos, and Thor dies. And so while this just happened, they've rescued Tony, they bring him back to Earth. You see the reunion scene that they have in the trailer, and they're kind of just waiting on Captain Marvel and Thor to come back. Captain Marvel comes back, tells them, you know, Thor was killed, and at that point, they kind of just lose all hope. You know, we've used our two best, our two strongest, you know, Vision and Wanda are dead, so they're out the window. But the two strongest they had remaining, they just sent to get Thanos, and they made no progress. And so they kind of lose hope here. I think there's gonna be just a absolute depressing tone. This is kind of the end of Act 1 of the movie, and they're so down and just out of ideas that they cannot win. And I think there's going to be a time gap here in the movie. Maybe it will be 6 months to a year. I hear some people saying like 10 years. I don't think it'll be that big of a gap, but I think it'll be 6 months to a year. I can see it being maybe a couple of years because Tony looks older in some parts of the trailers. But there will be a time gap, and that's when Ant-Man is going to come out of the quantum realm starting Act 2. So I guess let me explain that a little bit. So while in the quantum realm, he found the space-time teleport, travel through time things, however they want to explain it with their Marvel verbiage, and he found out how to travel through time. So Ant-Man was stuck in the quantum realm after Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then after he realized no one was bringing him back, he found a time portal thing in the quantum realm and traveled to when the 6 months or a year, whatever the time gap is, has passed. And so to him, it's been a day, maybe 2 days, but to everyone else, it's been 6 months to a year. So he comes out and comes to the Avengers Mansion, like you've seen in the trailer, and he tells them about the time travel. And that kind of gives them hope about, okay, well, we can use this to defeat Thanos. And so they spend probably the middle of the movie, the rest of the second act, trying to reopen the quantum realm and try to figure out between Bruce Banner, Tony, and Scott Lang, they try to map out the portals in the quantum realm that'll bring you to certain periods of time or however their time travel is going to work. And so they're going to go back to other movies and collect the stones. They're gonna make their own gauntlet and go back and collect the stones in previous time and wield them against Thanos. And so the conflict here, kind of the rush, is going to be some people are going to stay back and some people are going to go into the quantum realm. And while they're in the quantum realm, Thanos is going to attack the Avengers HQ. He's gonna find out somehow that they're trying to go back in time and stop him, and he's gonna attack Avengers HQ and try to stop them from going back in time and undoing his snap. And so the remaining Avengers that stay back have to hold off Thanos, while those in the quantum realm are going through collecting the stones as fast as they can before Thanos closes the portal or destroys it or whatever, and they're stuck in there forever. And so this is where my theory starts to get complicated, is where they go inside the quantum realm. So first, they're going to go back to probably the first, maybe Captain America, get the Tesseract from there, from Red Skull possibly, go to the first Avengers, maybe the second Thor, the Guardians, just travel all over the place, And where it gets complicated is, like I said at the beginning of this video, I think Thor dies in the beginning of this movie. And when they go back to the first Avengers, Thor, it's back in time, is not dead yet. So I think they will collect Thor from the past and bring them back with him into the present. So they have past, long hair and a hammer, Thor, with them when they come out. Also, they will go to Age of Ultron to get the stone out of Loki's scepter. And they will get Ultron. I know you're thinking, Ultron's a bad guy. What the fuck's this dude talking about? And if you think about it, really, if you break down Ultron's mentality, he was designed to, keep everyone safe, protect the Earth. And he saw the humans as a threat. That's why he tried to wipe them all out. And so if they bring Ultron with them back to the present, Ultron will see Thanos as the big threat, against the Earth. So Ultron will help the Avengers fight Thanos, and I'm sure they'll come up with some fail-safe in case or something like that, or they'll be like, this is our only option, we have nothing left. So they'll go into the quantum realm and come out with Thor and Ultron with them. Maybe Vision, I don't know, I don't think they would do that just for, just not to confuse the audience with the stones, and, I don't think they'd come back with anybody else, because enough, time travel is confusing, but... So we're hitting third act territory here. And so this is where it kind of departs from what my theory is, what my hopes are, versus what Marvel has kind of been playing with this whole time, and what they've been building up this whole time. I'll just say this now, this is kind of out of order. I think they will use Nebula as a sacrifice piece to show, oh, well, she was the villain, but now she did, this wholesome thing to protect everyone. Personally, I don't like Nebula. She hasn't earned it yet for me. I don't care if she dies, but that's just my personal opinion. Maybe some people really like Nebula. So here we are, beginning of the third act. They come out of the quantum realm. We now have all of the Avengers that we started the movie with, along with Ultron. Now, here's the problem. They think that Thor's gonna give them the edge, but the problem is he's OG Thor, he's Avengers 1 Thor. He's not as powerful as Thor was. So Thor will fight throughout the battle, and they'll be fighting him. It's gonna be like the fight on Titan. They're landing hits, but it's nothing significant. They're still not pulling anything. So what happens here is kind of something that I really think will happen. It fits with what I want to happen and the whole Marvel theory, the whole Marvel plot they got going. And so they've been doing the Hulk up. They're holding them. They built him up, and now they're holding him back. And they're gonna have some big reveal for him. So what I think will happen is Black Widow will get killed by Thanos. And they had the whole love thing in Age of Ultron, Bruce Banner and Black Widow. And so this will set off the Hulk. And so the Hulk will just go fucking ballistic. And he'll turn into the Hulk. He'll be super Hulk. He'll be super powerful. And so at this point, they've collected the stones. They've put them in the gauntlet. And Hulk will wield the Infinity Gauntlet, the Stark-made Infinity Gauntlet. They're scared that no one's going to be strong enough to wield it. They're kind of, that's one of the reasons they're not winning the fight, is they're scared, well, this person wields it, they can't do it. If this person wields it, they can't do it. Bruce is trying to figure it out, but then he gets enraged and turns into the Hulk and just grabs the gauntlet, and he uses the gauntlet to bring everybody back that died in the snap, and then Hulk dies from using the gauntlet. And that is the end of the Hulk. So now we have all of our Avengers, our Guardians, Spider-Man, you know, we got everybody, Vision, Wanda. So now they're all fighting Thanos at the same time. You know, the gauntlet, the Stark-made gauntlet is destroyed, the stones got destroyed when the Hulk used it, it's done. So they're all fighting Thanos at the same time. And Hulk's dead. Thor gets injured in the battle, and his hammer is just laying there. You know, everyone's getting the shit kicked out of him. This is kind of, everyone's losing. You can tell, you know, they're gonna lose. So Captain America goes and picks up Thor's hammer and just starts wailing on fucking Thanos. Like, just beating the shit out of him with Thor's hammer. And you're like, well, in Age of Ultron, he tried to pick up the hammer, and that didn't work for him. He couldn't do it. And that's because he felt bad. He knew that Bucky killed Tony's parents, which we saw in Civil War. He knew this whole time that that is what happened. And so now that earlier in the movie they had their reunion, they had their getting back together, you know, Tony forgives him. He doesn't feel bad, and he's worthy to wield the hammer. So he's just beating the shit out of Thanos. Because, you know, him and Thanos didn't get that much fighting time back in Infinity War. But they're just going at it, and Captain America is just fucking wailing on him. And so what happens is, somehow or another, you know, this is my theory that I typed up in 30 minutes. I didn't fucking plan the minute-to-minute screenplay of it. But the quantum realm gets opened. I don't know if Steve opens it or somebody else opens it, if this was a plan, but they open the quantum realm, and Steve takes the hammer and just fucking charges at Thanos and knocks him into the quantum realm, and he falls in there with him. So now Thanos, Steve, and Thor's hammer are in the quantum realm, and then they destroy the portal, the entrance to the quantum realm from the outside, so there is no way for Thanos to get back out. So now let me just sum everything up for you. Hulk is dead, Thor is back, but he's weak Thor, and he's lost his hammer for the second time. And Cap is gone, he's in the quantum realm with Thanos. Okay. And so this is where we are now. So this is kind of like the closing of the movie, and this is really what I think brings the movie to that 3-hour mark, is that they have to wrap everyone up. You know, in the other Avengers movies, has just a little 10-minute closing scene at the end. This is going to wrap up so many characters, it's got to set them all off on their own path. So this seemed like a 30-minute wrap-up scene. So, you know, Captain Marvel's going to go do her own thing. I think Thor, the nerfed Thor, will join the Guardians, and they will go and, you know, do their adventures together, get Thor a new weapon. You know, that I don't think. But we're talking about this movie. That won't happen in this movie. And so what's going to happen in this movie is maybe Ant-Man or Captain Marvel team up together or something, and they go to find Steve in the quantum realm, because Ant-Man knows how to navigate it, and Captain Marvel is very, very powerful. And so, something I forgot to mention, this is very important. Somehow, Thanos' gauntlet gets destroyed in the fight, because if he has the gauntlet when he goes in the quantum realm, that just fucking negates everything. So somehow that gets destroyed. I didn't think about that. We'll just say that the stones don't work inside of the quantum realm. That's what we're gonna go with. Stones don't work inside the quantum realm. They only work once if you've gone through one of these portals to another dimension, another timeline, they work. But while you're actually inside the quantum realm itself, the stones don't work. So Captain Marvel and Ant-Man go into the quantum realm. They build a new way or something using her cosmic powers and Ant-Man's ability and experience with it. And they go to find Steve. And so while they're doing that, Tony retires. He says he's done. He's been doing this for 11 years now, or if there's a time gap, 12 years, whatever. And he's just done. He's gonna get married to Pepper, have a kid. And so it's the end of the movie. Tony is having, their wedding, or maybe they're having, they had a baby in the hospital or something. One of the two. And all of the Avengers are around. Thanos is defeated. Everyone's like, oh, congratulations, you had a baby, you got married, whatever, whichever one it is. And then, right as the movie's ending, you see kind of Tony look towards the door, the entrance to wherever this wedding is. And then the camera turns around, and it's old-ass Steve Rogers, like 100 years old, at the wedding or at the hospital where he's having a baby. And so you're thinking, why the fuck is he old? Why is Captain America 100 years old? So what happened, and this is where it kind of gets a little bit crazy, but this would be like that Marvel ending that they always like to do, is when he was in the quantum realm, they found Captain Marvel and Ant-Man, found him. Thanos wasn't anywhere near. Found him in the quantum realm, and he said he didn't want to go back. He didn't want to go back to the present. He wanted to go back to the original time where he was from, the 40s. And so he goes back to the 40s. Captain Marvel and Ant-Man bring him back to wherever in the quantum realm the 40s portal is, however it works. I'm not a fucking quantum realm specialist, I don't know. Anyways, they bring him back to the 40s, and he stays there. He does his dance, his date with Peggy. He gets to live his life with Peggy, and he stays from the 40s as a 20-year-old. He's still Captain America. He still has all of his memories. And, it's not like it erases him from the present timeline, but he just stays there and stays with Peggy from the 40s. And, time travel is confusing. So, you'd be like, oh, well, what if since he went back in time, he couldn't have been in all these other events? Well, we're just gonna say he could have. You don't know how time travel works. You're not a genius. And so he comes back. He's like 80, 90, 100 years old, and he comes in to Tony's wedding, his, hospital room where he's having a baby, and, he's just old, and he's there, and fucking they have like a moment where like, we did it, we're all together, we defeated Thanos, and that's how the movie ends. And then, we go to credits, black screen, and the very first credit scene, you guys are getting a fucking bonus. I just made this up on the spot. And in the very first credit scene, they're sitting there, and they're all in the hospital room or the wedding, talking with old Cap, saying, oh, well, what happened? And he was like, oh, well, I decided to stay with Peggy, and blah, blah, blah. And so they're sitting there, and as like a jokey ending to the movie, so that people don't go fucking crying out of the movie theater again, Thor will be like, did you bring my hammer back? And then there'll be a laugh, everyone will laugh, and then it'll cut back to the credits, and it'll set up the next Marvel movie and the next credit scene. So, that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Honestly, I wrote half a page, didn't even look at it. Kind of just went on the fly from what I memorized. Again, I didn't make all of this up on my own. Some of this I did, some of this I thought of, I think will happen, but certain pieces, certain aspects of it, I've taken from what you can see in the trailer and other theories that I've read and other videos that I've watched. Again, you guys will be seeing this movie tomorrow. Hope it's great. Hope everyone loves it. Saturday, if not Saturday, Sunday, I will be posting a review and a non-spoiler review on this movie. Hope you guys have a good time and enjoy Avengers Endgame. I'll see you guys on the next one.